Well, hello, my name is Tom Cicenti, and I will be your instructor for probation and parole. So if you're not signed up for probation and parole, you're definitely in the wrong class and you probably need to leave. But if you are, then you're in the right place. So probation and parole is a new topic for me to teach. Some of you have been in my classes before. I teach online at WVUP. I've taught report writing online and a couple other classes. And then I teach live at WV, primarily criminal investigations. I also teach sometimes a crime scene class, but primarily I teach criminal investigation courses, and I really enjoy it. So some of you have had me live, some of you had me online. If that's the case, welcome back to one of my classes. If it's not, and this is your first time, well, welcome. I hope to get to know you a little bit better throughout this semester. I'll give you a little background about myself. I'm a police chief at Marietta College. I've been there for about 2 years now. Prior to that, I was a police chief at a university in Indiana. And before that, I spent my career as a municipal police chief in a town in northwest Ohio. I spent 5 years as a police detective, and I worked for the state of Ohio as an investigator for the Ohio Department of Mental Health. I also spent some time in the Department of Youth Services working as an investigator and as a juvenile corrections officer, and worked my way up into an investigator spot. So I got a little bit experience, or I have a lot of experience in the criminal justice field. I work a lot with probation officers and parole officers, and so we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about some of the advantages, some of the new techniques that are coming up in probation and parole. One thing I want to let you know, especially if this is your first online class, you're feeling a little intimidated, do not feel that way. I began as a traditional student and received my associate's degree right out of high school, like many people do. And then I went right into the workforce and became a police officer. 10 years after I received my associate's degree, I went back to get my bachelor's degree. And I attended a school very much like WVUP, where some of my courses were online and some of my courses were taken live, and just had a blended mixed schedule. I did that while I was working 3 jobs and while I had a family. So very similar to the situation you're in. I then went back and to work on my master's degree at the University of Cincinnati, which is the #3 research school in the nation, and we specifically focus at the University of Cincinnati on corrections and probation issues and rehabilitation issues. So this is a very good course for me to teach because I have a lot of involvement through the University of Cincinnati with the topics that we're going to talk about. But I just say that to let you know that I understand the situation you're in. I understand that things happen, things come up. You're all working adults, and we're going to get you through this course. So with that said, let's talk about how you're going to complete this course with an A. There are 2 things that you need to get done every single week. Those 2 things are a quiz and a discussion board. Your quiz is worth 10 points and your discussion board is worth 5. So let's talk about the quiz. The quiz will be over your chapter reading. We will do 1 chapter a week. Additional to the chapter reading will be YouTube videos like this one that I will post. I will talk about the chapter, but I may also talk about other trends and other things that are happening in the probation and parole world. So your quiz won't be based solely off the chapter. So if you just read your chapter, you're going to get some of the questions right. But you also need to watch the videos because it will be me. Hopefully, throughout this semester, we'll have some guests come on video with us from the probation and parole department. So we're going to have kind of a mixed little session of things like that. So you really need to watch the videos. Now, YouTube will only let me post a 10-minute video. So the videos will come out in segments. Now, sometimes on a short chapter, we may only have 1 10-minute video. Sometimes on longer chapters, I've had 3 or 4 videos. So you just need to follow the links and make sure that you watch all the videos that are assigned to take that quiz. So the quiz is worth 10 points. It'll be just an array of things. It may all be multiple choice one time. One time it may all be true and false. One time it may all be filled in the blank. You'll have 1 hour to complete your quiz, and it will be open book. Okay, so just make sure you read your chapter and watch a video because you won't have time to do that during the quiz. What you will have time to do is go back and look at your notes and look in your book at the readings that you've done. And then you have your discussion boards. And let me tell you where people fail in their discussion boards. They do not follow the procedures. Here is the procedure. By Friday at midnight, you have to have your initial posting for the discussion board. By Sunday at midnight, you have to reply to 2 classmates' comments. What happens is people put their initial posting on a Saturday and then reply on Sunday and think that's going to be okay. It won't be okay. You have to have that initial discussion board reply to my question, to my initial question or topic that I've assigned by Friday at midnight. If you don't, I don't care if you reply to 20 comments that people make, and if you make 20 discussion board postings, you're going to get a 0 for that week. It's very important that we have things that our students can discuss, and so that's why you have to have your initial posting done by Friday. Now, with that said, if you log on Wednesday to do your initial posting, and you notice that 5 other people have already done their initial posting, you can reply to those 5 other people on Wednesday and get your whole discussion board knocked out in one day. That's fine, but it has to be done. Your initial has to be done by Friday midnight. Your replies have to be done by Sunday at midnight. And failure to do either one of those things will result in a 0 grade. Another thing about discussion boards is it has to have meat in it. A reply is not, well, that's a great comment, Laura. I think so too. There's no meat in that. Your discussion board postings need to be a paragraph long, okay? You need to interact and engage the question that I asked, and then interact and engage in the response that people make. Now, with that said, absolutely no negativeness in this discussion board, okay? I don't care if you don't agree with what they say, then find another one to talk about. You can post your opinions and talk about things that you want to talk about, but nothing negative. We're not going to be derogatory towards people. We're not going to talk negatively about them. That's not going to happen in this class. So, this first week, your discussion board is going to be real easy. It's just asking you to introduce yourself. And I did an initial discussion board posting introducing myself, and I'm going to ask you guys to do a discussion board posting introducing yourself. Because we don't have a chapter the first week, Chapter 1 will come next week, your quiz is going to be very simple. I'm asking you to post a link on the discussion board that I made up to a subject involving, or a video involving probation and parole, and then I'm asking you to post a picture of yourself on our student roster so that everybody can kind of see who you are. So that takes the place of your quiz. And then your discussion board will be just a simple introduction and kind of follow the guidelines that I put there. Contacting me is very easy. Through this email that we have set up on our little board here, you can send me messages. If you send it to my work email address, there's a chance I'm not going to get it. I seldomly check my WVUP email address, so send it to me through this email. Response time is usually about a day or two. So I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And then the last thing I just need to talk to you about is late assignments. This is an online class. There are no late assignments. It is your choice to wait until just before the assignments due. My recommendation is on Monday you do your assignment. That way, if your computer breaks, whatever catastrophe happens, you can still have time to go down to the library and get your assignment done. If your computer breaks on a Sunday at 11 o'clock at night, you're not going to have time to go down to the library, but that was your choice to wait that long. So my recommendation to you is to get your assignment done by on Monday, and then you won't have to worry about it. But it's entirely up to you on how you want to handle that. So there are no late assignments. I make very few exceptions to that rule. In some extreme cases I may. And contact me directly about that. But it is an online class. You should be able to get knocked out. So with that said, I hope you all enjoy this class. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all. And I'll see you next week with a video on Chapter 1.